What's up, my friends? Little lull there. Sorry about that. How we doing tonight? It's good to see everybody. Welcome to American Fire. I am Ace. I'm your host. Tonight, we are going through the exposure happening right before our eyes. You know, Trump has always been trying to show us what's actually going on behind the scenes, what the world we actually live in, the lies we've been taught. But you can't just tell people, you got to show them. And we're in the midst of that, and it is happening at an accelerated rate. So tonight, we're going to talk about the new world order Trump is putting together, which is not a one world government like so many are freaking out about eschatology wise. No, it is completely based on giving countries their sovereignty back, America getting back to being a sovereign, powerful nation. We're going to go through what's happening with the Iran war and how this is unlocking things, but Trump's also making other moves. On top of that, how this whole election fight is exposing rhinos, the establishment party. We're going to talk about that tonight. Thomas Massey in big trouble. You're going to want to see that. And then, of course, we got to do Grifter Corner, as there's always more coming out there. So we got so much to go through tonight. I hope you stay. I hope you enjoy the show. Before we get started, if you can hit that like, hit that subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. If you're watching on X, you can hit that little repost button too. Really helps the show. I appreciate it. I can't see your guys' chat, so I am sorry for that on X. Hopefully Elon fixes that someday. But for Rumble and YouTube, you guys are loud and clear, so feel free to blow up the chat with your comments and questions. I'll do my best to answer them, but no trolling, or I'll kick you out of here real fast. Alrighty, let's say hey to some peeps and get moving. US1, what's up, brother? Numero uno tonight. Roll Tide. We do need new people for the Save America Act. I agree with you, my friend. It is being exposed. We're going to talk about that tonight. Kim Wiley, what's going on? Alice Fordham's in the house. Frank Anastasio, Vince Felice, let's go. Cass Sink, what's up, brother? MH, Mike Mishler, Shogun, Armand, Oliphant. What's up, brother? I haven't seen you in a long time. I missed you, man. Even back when we had beers in Austin together. That was great. San Antonio. Daver, what's going on? Ray Sandoval, what's up, brother? Lochtefeld over there on Rumble, holding it down. The one, what it do? Cass Sink, what's up? Tammy Anderson, how you doing? Z Grooms is here. Just Mike, what's up, brother? Vince, Jim Boswell, and yeah, smash that like. Thank you, Mike, for reminding everybody. Armand says, Texas best burger, picking one up for his wife, flying in now. Oh, man. I want a Texas best burger. I'm actually going to try to go out to Texas in the next couple months, see some friends, and, you know, for all my Texan viewers, maybe we can do a meetup. We still need to do a meetup here in North Carolina. So I'm getting it. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. I've had so many people want to do it, and I've just never been able to organize it, but maybe now's the time. Linda Goyle, what's up? Nick Majors, what's up, brother? Trish is in the house as well. Good peeps in here tonight. As always, guys, feel free to hit up in the chat. I'll do my best to get to it when I can. All right, you guys ready to get started? Methinks you are. All right, let's just get right into it tonight. Jesse Waters, excellent little segment tonight on the Iran strategy. By the way, guys, I cannot believe the Iran nonsense being spouted out there. It's just everybody expects not everybody expects. They're trying to lie to us that Iran is holding back this super secret attack, these super secret missiles, and just wait, they're going to unleash them. Why not yet? I mean, the psyop around Iran is insane. It is insane. We are seeing so many people out there grifting on this, pushing these false narratives. I talked to you about last night where there was a story going around that 1,000 Americans have died. Well, Carolyn Levitt broke it down today that so far there's been about 150 Americans injured, not dead, 7 dead. And out of those, 108 have already returned back to duty. So healing fast, only 8 are in critical condition. So guys, do not follow the lies. As always, go to the official sources, trust Trump, and we are the good guys now. The good guys are in charge. I know it's weird. I know it's weird. I know we have to break the habit because we've been lied to for so long. I mean, what since the beginning of our country, we've been lied to, especially the last 120 so years when we started developing all these intelligence agencies and the Federal Reserve. It's been lie after lie after lie, and it really upped after JFK. Oh man, psyop like crazy. So I know it's hard. It's hard to break that habit and actually believe the people in charge. But I'm telling you, we're actually being told the truth for the most part. There are some things they can't tell us, and there's misdirections, but ultimately Trump, I wrote this today in response to somebody, that Trump has been the most, I followed him for 10 years closely. Okay. Before that, he was just tabloid guy, whatever, interesting stuff here and there. But for the last 10 years, I've followed this man closely, and he is the most consistent politician leader I've ever seen, because he sticks with what he says. He follows through. And anytime he says something in the moment, people say he lies. No, he doesn't. He misdirects. He might throw you off. He might cover up something, but he doesn't lie. No, in fact, he tells the truth far more often than some people think he should. But it's all consistent, including bombing Iran, which he's been saying for 12 years. Actually longer. If you go back to the 80s, even then he said we need to deal with Iran. So you could say 40 years. But again, I know it's a weird thing, but that's how we get through it. And Jesse Waters tonight, some of these people actually are trusting the Trump administration and believing it and actually reporting the news. Listen to this excellent clip. It's 2 minutes. I want to play it for Jesse Waters on what's going on in Iran.
Hey, you can disagree with the war, but not the war effort.
Sorry, guys, wrong one. Whoopsies. Let me do. There we go.
Hey, you can disagree with the war, but not the war effort. We are accelerating these bombing runs, and their offensive output is collapsing. You have to look at it honestly, like these two colleagues to my left said. Everything that the Iranians have tried has failed. They tried to have a war of attrition, hunker down, let us run out of munitions and interceptors. That didn't work. They tried to hit the Arab allies. All it did was force them into America's arms. And then they tried to jack up the price of oil so the base felt the pain at the pump and the market could pressure Trump to take a knee. That didn't happen. The market is stabilized. Oil's down to $80 a barrel. And right now the strait's open. It's not completely, but they are moving tankers. And we have things we can do there. We can use ships as sentries. We could do escorts, or we could seize Karg Island and then just like turn off their revenue with a little spigot. When Trump and Hegseth say that we're only just getting started, or, oh, they ain't seen nothing yet, that's not saying the war is going to last forever. That's a psyop to the Iranians to say we're holding a lot back. We could be hitting their electrical grids, bridges, oil depots. What we're doing is that they act stupid. We're going to reserve those targets for that punishment. Right now, we're almost executing this war compassionately. This thing could be much, much bigger. The timing of the war is really intelligent, because if you see the volley of these drones and ballistic missiles, imagine 5 years from now how much blood and treasure the American alliance would have to spend busting down these barrages to take out the nuclear program. Their goal was to build a shield around it so we couldn't even consider the strike. People have to be a little bit more patient. We took 10 years to nail bin Laden, 2 years for Milosevic, 8 months for Gaddafi, 9 months for Saddam. Hitler died after 6 years. We got this guy in 50 seconds. You have to acknowledge how great that was.
What a great little ending right there, the conclusion. But he's absolutely right. We're holding back. This is what's so crazy about what everybody's saying. Trump is trying to give them an out. He's trying to give Iran an out. We have already won this war. And I don't like doing that. I know what people are going to say. I already get it in my comments. Oh, mission accomplished, bro. Yeah, put the banner up, bro. I get the stupidest people writing me all the time. And you know what? I love it, though. I love it because it means we're on to something. Listen, anybody who looks at this and says Iraq, Afghanistan, like they have some screws loose. They need a little bit of help. They might need to go to the special place, get on the small bus, because nobody who spent 5 seconds researching this can say that. I know we have like the shills out there, the Scott Ritter types who, he's a pedophile, but nobody seems to care about when Scott Ritter is busted twice for going after teenagers in his life, convicted on one of them. No, nobody cares about that. They're going to listen to him because he feeds them what they want to hear, which is, this is big and scary and we're going to get stuck. Don't believe the crap. I know we are in a new time. History doesn't repeat, but sometimes it rhymes. And this is barely rhyming. The only rhyme is that we bombed the Middle East. And everybody's like, oh my God, it's Iraq, it's Afghanistan. No, we took out Ayatollah Khomeini in less than a day, 50 seconds, like Jesse said. It's been 9 days, folks. 10 days now. 10 days. 10 days and people are acting as if we're done. So it's like, oh my God, it's a quagmire. No, we're holding back. We have so thoroughly decimated them. It's wild to see. And dare I say it, guys, like Trump announced the other day, we're ahead of schedule. And what he means by that is our operations are, the necessary operations are done. We have completely obliterated their military capabilities. They're not a threat anymore. It doesn't mean they might not get a couple bombs through here and there, a couple missiles. They are, after all, the world's 5th largest military at one point. I mean, come on. We just did this to the world's 5th largest military. I talked about this last night, where we were always told this is the next big bad after China and Russia. It was always Iran, right? The last great military threat to us, though, because China's never going to fight us, and Russia, we're this close to being allies with Russia. Watch what happens when Ukraine ends. So there is no more big bad militarily because we just took them out. And anybody saying otherwise just has no idea what they're talking about. What are they waiting for? We took out their leader. We took out the next 40 people in line. I mean, come on. Are you serious? They have no Navy anymore. They have no Air Force. In Israel, they've already cleared the airways. It's like commercial flights, go for it. You're good. You're safe. Yeah, you don't do that when you're in a major war that's even a tie. Even if you're in, one-on-one and nobody's winning, you still don't open up your airspace like that, especially when they're not next door to you. It's just so crazy to me. I don't understand how anybody can buy that nonsense. And yet they do, because the psyops are huge right now. And I love what Jesse said there, that we actually ran a counter psyop, which is 100% true. But anyways, let's get into where Trump is right now. As Trump is talking about Strait of Hormuz, because this is the big thing everybody's worried about. Also, guys, when you really want to know what's going on, follow the markets, because that's where the money is. And the markets were up yesterday and just toeing the water today, but that's because they're not scared. They just want to know what's happening next. Oil staying down, low 80s, low to mid 80s in that range, barely touching 90, going right back down. Yeah, nothing's happening. All the panic is gone. I was told that oil was supposed to be 150 right now because Trump wasn't prepared. Trump didn't plan for this. This was just made. This decision was made out of nowhere. They don't know what they're doing, guys. Well, sure looks like they do to me. It sure looks like it's handled, considering that we just took out the world's 5th largest military, the regime that for 47 years we were allowed to kill 1,000 Americans, over 1,000 Americans, never fought back because they were too big and strong, too fortified. You can't stop Iran. You'll get stuck in Iran. It's going to be, yeah. We just took out that guy in less than 10 days and completely neutered them. That's wild. And we're supposed to believe that they're just holding something back. How stupid. How stupid. But Strait of Hormuz, this is what the Iranians did today. They started planting mines in the Strait of Hormuz to throw off ships, to mess with things. This was their big attack. Not supersonic missiles, not nukes, not dirty bombs. No, their big idea was, how we're going to get them? we're going to plant some mines in the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, are you kidding me? So Trump responded today, if Iran's put any mines in the Hormuz Strait and we have no reports of them doing so, we want them removed immediately. If for any reason mines were placed and they are not removed, the military consequences to Iran will be at a level never seen before. If, on the other hand, they remove what might have been placed, it'll be a giant step in the right direction. Additionally, we're using the same technology and missile capabilities deployed against drug traffickers to permanently eliminate any boat or ship attempting to mine the Hormuz Strait. They'll be dealt with quickly and viciously. Beware. Trump just put them on blast. He's like, hey, guys, you know that thing that I've been doing for the last 6 months where every single drug boat just gets destroyed, just gets vaporized in 5 seconds? You know how I keep doing that? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do to you guys if you put them in. Now, it does make me wonder, the mine story, since he says they have no record of them doing so, it makes me wonder if it's a psyop. Just coming out like the Iran just putting stuff out there, trying to come up with something, which is even more pathetic. It's even more pathetic than actually doing it, which is pathetic in and of itself. These guys, this is not how a nation acts when they have some big thing coming. It's just not. We're seeing how pathetically weakened they are. And Trump, I think we're going to be done with this by the end of the month. I really do. Now, think about how they're going to spin that. How do you spin that? If in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, less than 2 months, they absolutely turn this massive, giant bad guy that we've lived with my entire life. I mean, I was born in 83. Iran was taken over in 79. They were already one of the big bad guys back then. Been hearing it my whole life. Iran's scary. You don't mess with Iran. Not that we couldn't beat them, but it would be long and drawn out and bloody and horrific. You just don't do Iran. It's not worth it. Told my whole life that. Watched as we let these people bomb, kidnap, torture, kill American citizens over and over and over again. We let them be the #1 state sponsor of terror, funding Hezbollah and Hamas and who knows what else. We let them get away with it because they're so big and scary. You just can't do it. And we're about, how do you spin it if Trump takes them out in less than a month? I'm telling you, what Trump told us, I mean, we've known for a long time, you can't tell the people, you have to show them. Well, I don't know what's more show them than this. Tom Longo posted this today. This has been going around. A memo from inside Iran. A political declaration emerged from Arab tribes in the Khuzestan province, country's most important oil-producing region. In the statement, they made several striking points. They reject the Islamic Republic and call for the complete removal of the regime. Real quick, let's back up real here. Country's most important oil-producing region. You know what that means? It means they're the financial center of Iran. That without Iran, without this province, Iran has no money. They go broke. Rejecting the republic, demand a secular democratic government based on human rights, stress Kazakhstan's inseparable part of Iran, call for unity among Iranian ethnic groups, including Kurds, Azeris, and Baloch. I don't know what that means. Sounds interesting. Sounds good. Express support for Reza Pahlavi. Khuzestan is not another province, heart of Iran's oil industry, one of the most strategically important regions in the country. When voices inside the region call openly for democratic future, signals something much bigger. Cracks in the regime may be widening. Guys, do you understand what a big deal this is? Because anybody who's found to have signed this letter, signed off on this letter, their life is now in danger. Look at what's going on with the Iranian soccer team, the women's soccer team. They refuse to stand for their own anthem after Trump attacked, in defiance. And now they're trying, and Trump's trying to get them sanctuary in Australia, because if they go home, they're dead. You can't go home to this regime. This regime they killed 32,000 to somewhere between 32 and 38,000 of their own people just a month ago when they rose up. Trump called them to rise up and take back their nation. He said, well, we got your back. And then he proved it And this tells me that the courage is starting to rise in the nation. Guys, the regime I showed you the other night, there are cops not showing up, military people not showing up for this regime anymore. It's cracking. It's falling apart. And now the people are starting to call it the most financially important part of Iran is now putting out a statement. We're done. This is incredible stuff. And it means to me that it's going to spread. We need them to keep getting more empowered. We need them to stand up because Trump is, this is one of the things that drives me nuts is when people are like, yo, Trump, he's just a warmonger. He's just a neocon. This is regime change. Yeah, except no American boots on the ground. And when I say no American boots on the ground, obviously I know we have some CIA arming people. We probably deploy special forces or have them ready to go, but that's not boots on the ground. That's operations. Boots on the ground means invasion. It means we drop 20,000 troops, 100,000 troops, 200,000 troops, and we go in and take ground. That's deploying boots on the ground. So whenever I say boots on the ground, I'm pretty sure you guys all understand that, but just for the people in the back, as Rush Limbaugh used to say, for those of you in Rio Linda, that let's be, I will specify boots on the ground. We're not doing that. We're not going to get boots on the ground. Trump won't do it because we don't want to take over Iran. I'm telling you guys right now, Trump has already got an out and he's got more than one. He's waiting for the people, and this is exactly what he wants to see. People come up, take it back over. That's number one. That's the wish list number one. Number two is we disarm them so thoroughly and completely, and the people don't rise up. They are obliterated. And what we do is we take over the Strait of Hormuz. We put sanctions back on them, and we block them. We probably run a special operation to pull out the uranium or whatever they got if it's not gone already. If we haven't destroyed it already, we block them off and we let them rot. But they have no weapons, no missile capabilities, no navy, no bombs, no uranium. And we leave them. And we say, fine, you guys can be a pathetic third world country for the next 20 years, 30 years, and just wait. Your people will eventually rise up. But either way, Trump's getting us out of there. Mark my words. At the rate we're going, we're out by the summer. I actually think we might be out by Easter at this point. That's what's happening. Mark my words, guys. This is how it's going down. And again, I told you guys the other night, worst case scenario, it gets into the summer and then Trump does this. At this point, it's going to be much sooner. We're there. We're ahead of schedule. And I know when Trump says that, he means it. He absolutely means it. So Iran, things are changing. I mean, here's Carolyn Levitt today talking about it. Here, she did a special press conference today, called it out of nowhere. Nobody was expecting it. And the reason was she had a lot of truth bombs to drop. Here's one of them.
The United States is also annihilating the Iranian regime's navy, and we have destroyed more than 50 Iranian naval vessels, including a major drone carrier ship. None of the regime's vessels are operating in major regional waterways, and the Iranian Navy has been assessed as combat ineffective. The trend is clear. U.S. combat capabilities are increasing and growing more lethal and dominant by the day, while the Iranian terrorist regime's ability to respond has rapidly declined. Now, the U.S. military is moving to dismantle Iran's missile production infrastructure. Our incredible B-2 bombers recently dropped dozens of 2,000-pound penetrator bombs on deeply buried missile sites.
I mean, incredible stuff. Iranian Navy completely wiped out. 5th biggest military in the world, just gone. It's like that. You understand like how big a deal the Navy is? I mean, in today's world, the most important power is Air Force. But for centuries, it was the Navy. And the Navy's still a major part of it. Think about it. We couldn't have done what we did in Iran right now without the Navy. It was the Navy. It was our ships coming in, bringing the planes so we could be firing from the air so we could, and then missiles from the carriers, battleships, whatever. I mean, it's all there. But it's the Navy, and the Navy's still important. Still incredibly important. And we just wiped it out. They don't even have an Air Force. That was gone, day 2? So just absolutely incredible stuff. And guys, it's just more proof that we're just reshaping the world, and it's spreading. I mean, here's another thing from Carolyn. Play this. Where's JR? He's got to be very happy. Carolyn's starting to show. I think she's starting to look a little pregnant, which is good for her. Congratulations to her. But JR, sorry, it's not yours, buddy. It's not yours. But here's a little update on Cuba.
An economic deal imminent?
Sure. I don't have any updates on Cuba for you
quiet.
today. Obviously, this is something the administration is actively dealing with. The president's made it quite clear it's his belief, based on fact, that the Cuban regime is bound to fall. The country is obviously in a very weak place, economically speaking. The people are crying out for help, and the president believes and knows that the Cuban regime wants a deal. So as you know, Secretary of State Rubio has been engaged in those conversations as directed by the president. I don't have any updates for you today, though.
Thank you.
They're talking to Rubio. Cuba's about to fall. I'm excited. You know, I know some of this tonight is so far just probably a little repetitive, but at the same time, it's important. It's important to have it in front of us. It's important to keep reminding ourselves exactly where we're at and be thankful to God how incredibly amazing we're wielding our military right now. This is just, we've never seen this before. I'm stoked about it. I'm absolutely stoked about it. And here I want to show you guys a couple more things. So real quick in this little segment, and then I want to get into the chat with you guys a little bit. But John Bolton out there freaking out to Caitlin Collins about Iran and Putin. But I mean, well, listen to this. I'm not going to play much because, you know, it's like listening to the devil, but just a second.
Levitt and Hegseth are not worth the oxygen to respond to. I think that the best we can hope here is that Trump will understand that Vladimir Putin is not his friend. That would be a significant strategic breakthrough if he realized that he's not somebody that is going to find accommodation. This is a new report, but not surprising since we're doing the same thing to the Russians. But if Trump came to realize that he's dealing with an adversary now.
Okay, so you guys understand the psyop they're trying to put on right now? Like, Bolton is complete deep state operative. All right. And this guy has been part of running City of London's war operations for decades. Okay. Advising the presidents. I mean, he's one of the reasons we got stuck in Iraq and Afghanistan. And then he got into the Trump administration. You guys remember that? Well, as we covered on my show, that's Steve Bannon's fault. Steve Bannon bragged to Jeffrey Epstein that he got Bolton in the Trump White House, which hilarious because, hey, joke's on you guys because Steve Bannon was supposed to be the MAGAist of us all. But no, he got Bolton in there. Thankfully, Trump was smart enough to kick him out. But you can't trust a word out of this man's mouth. This man, he's worse than a lawyer. Every time his mouth moves, it's lies coming out. And his whole purpose is always to sow disinformation to lead us into conflict. And that's what he's doing right now with this whole Russia thing. And they're spreading this all over the place. This sources. Do you see that right here? Sources. What does it mean when they say sources? Anonymous sources. Trust me, bro. It means either fake anonymous sources who are whispering things so they can quote them, or it means they're making it up. But anybody who actually believes Russia is giving Iran intel, what does Russia have to gain from that? Trump has been working hard with Putin to end Ukraine. He has been, and we have the reports on this now. They have actually been working to figure out an alliance after the Ukraine war is over. That's why Putin came to Alaska. We have this, it's documented at this point. So what does Russia gain from giving intel reports to Iran about us? Absolutely nothing. And also, who are they giving it to? Their military is basically destroyed. It would be nothing but a downside for Russia. But But why are they so threatened? Why are they doing this? They need Russia to be the bad guy because they just lost Iran. And they need a bad guy because they have one last chance to try to get us into World War III, get America weakened, and try to come back from the decimation they're facing thanks to everything Trump's been doing. And it's going to fail because we see it now. Tom Luongo says it right here, and I completely agree with him. What Bolton knows but won't say is this deal's already been made. Taking Iran off the board gives Putin the leverage to finally take the tracksuit midget, that's Zelensky, off the board in Kiev. London's crying this evening. Me, I've got 2 fingers of rye. He's absolutely right. I mean, this PSYOP is about trying to get Russia back in. Now, this last thing I wanted to show you guys, because this is from Joe Rogan today, Michael Schellenberger. It's important to note, Schellenberger, if you don't know who he is, used to be a liberal. He was hardcore Democrat, social justice guy, trying to get stuff done in California. He's Californian, and like myself, I used to be. But his eyes were awakened. His eyes were opened, and his mind was awakened, I should say, when he saw how poorly everything implemented that he fought for was performing, and how they just kept wasting everything. And so what he went to is he became the honest liberal who started calling out his side for reforms. But then he met the ire of his other side, and they chased him out. And he realized, oh my God, these people are insane. And since then, he's been MAGA. Now, his development's been wonderful and interesting to watch over the past few years. He's a brilliant guy. And this has been happening over the course of the last 10 years. But as of 2024, he was full on behind Trump. And now the reason I tell you guys all this is because this is an independent thinker. This is not somebody who's been rah-rah Trump. This is not somebody who has been Republican or conservative from the beginning. He's not anti-Democrat. He came over by realizing stuff over time, and he's all about the facts and the receipts. So he's on Rogan today, and listen to his assessment of Trump right now. I find this absolutely fascinating. And this tells me, guys, that those of us who see this stuff are absolutely right. Because even though I've been with Trump since the beginning, even though I grew up conservative Republican, and, I've always been on that side, anti-Democrats, all that. Even though I grew up in that, it doesn't mean we can't think clearly. Because, I did turn against the Iraq war. I became full on independent until Trump came along and I became MAGA. But again, knowing this guy's background, listen to what he says.
I mean, I think the president there's been some, Rubio said something about how, we had to act because we knew that Israel was going to act anyway. And I think people interpreted it, and then Netanyahu was in the White House a lot. I think this president has shown, whether you like him or not, and there's certainly things that I'm unhappy about and have criticized, but I think Trump is in charge. Like, he's making these decisions. There's nobody behind him. There's nobody pulling for all of that. The Russians or whoever, or the Israelis. It's just he's clearly. I mean, Elon gave him $250 million, and he still. He didn't give him even the electric car credit, so true. Trump is in charge, I think that's one of the big lessons from this. And I think that means that there's not a lot of second order thinking here. What's the move after that? He doesn't know. He's just acting. That's what's so wild about it, is that this older foreign policy establishment, which, was let the experts decide what the right foreign policy, all these think tanks, that's just gone now. It's just irrelevant in this presidency. And I don't think it'll come back. If you get a Gavin Newsom or a President AOC,
President who?
I don't think,
For real?
I think she, for a minute before Munich, but I don't think it's going to come back. And I think that's what the Prime Minister of Canada realized. I think that's what the Europeans are starting to realize, is that this is a completely different world that we live in than the one we lived in just a couple of years ago.
How fascinating is that? I mean, there's a couple things he said that I thought were just so important. Trump's completely in control. This guy sees it. And I loved his point he made about Elon. Think about it. You know how many times I see people be like, Miriam Adelson, she controls Trump. She gave him money. He accepted her money. She controls him. Elon gave $250 million. Who else is going to beat that? And Trump still was like, look, I know you, Elon, buddy, Elon, I know The government has completely subsidized your businesses. You've completely made your businesses off government teat, off of our credits, EV credits. I could completely ruin your businesses right now. You're going to have to figure it out. Thank you for your money. I'm still killing the credits. He just stared at Elon and said that. Elon, you know how much money Tesla lost because Trump killed the EV credits? And yet Elon gave more money than anybody. So yeah, tell me again how Miriam Adelson, the Israelis, controlled Trump with money. So stupid. He can't be bought. And this guy's smart enough to see it. So that's number one. Trump's fully in control. And then the next thing I thought was so important he said there is that it's a new world. We live in a completely new world. And this guy, Michael Schellenberger, and it's worth listening to the whole podcast. He's just a really smart guy. He sees it. And he's like, we can't go back. Now, there's so many people blackpilling even on our side who basically think Trump's failing and it's over and we're just going right back. And we basically are right back. And Trump's been taken over and he's been subdued and the deep state owns him or Israel owns him and nothing's changed. These are the idiots who are like, I'll just sit out the midterms or vote Democrat because whatever, it doesn't matter. These are the Nick Fuentes types who follow Fuentes. Groypers, bro. These guys suck. And they're so stupid in how they assess these things. But this guy, independent thinker, breaks it all down. There is no going back. And in his eyes, he's like, even if Gavin Newsom comes in, you can't go back. That's incredible stuff, guys. And this comes from somebody who's completely independent in every way, outsider, not full on MAGA, not a Trump shill. And even he sees it. And I'm just telling you that this is the truth, and the truth sets you free. You know, when light shines in the darkness, everything's exposed, and this guy's seeing it. So just telling you guys, like, it's time to be optimistic. We are headed in the right direction. Incredible things are happening. And that's why the PSYOPs are going up to 11. Spinal Tap, baby. It goes to 11. That's what's happening. They've just taken it all the way up because their last chance is to take out MAGA from within. That's what they're trying to do. And I'm going to talk about that next. And I'm going to show you some incredible stuff about what's going on MAGA from the political side in our nation. But first, I do want to get into the chat for a minute before I move on from this segment. Just look at your guys' comments. I did see some comments and stuff popping up. So, and hey guys, before we move on as well, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you for watching and supporting. If you do like what you're hearing here, you know, think about maybe supporting the channel. You can get into the description or the pinned post over there on X. Get a free month. That's my gift to you. A free month membership. Get into the Patreon. Go sign up right now while I'm yammering. Sign up Patreon, free month, members lives, members podcasts, and of course the 24/7 Discord. Jump right in. We'd love to have you. It's the greatest community on the internet. All right, let me catch up with you guys for a second. Trish says Schellenberg's outstanding journalist, honest broker. He's a real deal, 100%. Roger writes, that's why Trump tweeted they need to pick them back up or else the mines. Yeah, absolutely. Jesus Save says, I think Elon POTUS rift in May 25 was fabricated to throw off MAGA haters. I think, yes, I think for the most part you're right. And I thought so a little bit at the time too. I think there's a little bit more to that. I also think Elon was pissed about the credit. I do. And so I think what happened is they had a disagreement and they talked about it and they were like, Elon was like, I'm going to play this up. And he did. But obviously you're completely right that it wasn't fully turned against Trump, because if he did, Trump wouldn't have brought him back. And Elon was right back in the fold. So it obviously was a bit of kayfabe. Now, here's the thing, though. I've had people come up now think everything Trump does is kayfabe with people he fights with. And that's just not the truth. Somebody mentioned to me that DeSantis was kayfabe as well. No. See, you have to understand, not every fight is kayfabe. Trump fought DeSantis, and that was real. And the reason is DeSantis got in with the McConnell and Ryan wing of the party, and they came to him. This is documented. They came to him and were like, hey, we think you can do this. You are the next guy. Trump's done. He's old news. We need a new leader. And they, knowing that DeSantis was beloved by MAGA, but also thinking they could control him, they pushed DeSantis and got into his head that he really was going to win. And look, he was riding off like a 25-point win in Florida in 2022. He was feeling himself, man. He came out of COVID as strong as ever. And so, yeah, I think DeSantis literally bought it. I think he was like, yeah, you're right. I can do this. I am the guy. And so he actually ran, and Trump tore him down. Now they've made up, but that wasn't kayfabe. That was legit. So just an example that sometimes Trump gets into some big fights, and they are for real. It doesn't mean they'll always stay that way, but they're for real. And like right now, I mean, he's got some big ones like Thomas Massey. That's legit. That really is. Armand says he served aboard USS Fox CG-33 from 88 to 89, operated in the Straits of Hormuz. With the eyes we have in that area, I doubt they have mines in the water. So there you go. Actual military guy speaking from 40 years ago with their stuff now or their stuff then, how unlikely it is they're actually putting mines. So again, we're in fog of war, folks. There's going to be lots of stuff that's just not real. And so we have to trust Trump. We have to follow his lead on that. Bolton's a fink, says Lochtefeld. 100% he is. U.S. companies will invest in Cuba. They'll be there so fast. It'll make your head spin how fast companies will go to Cuba if Cuba fixes itself. Think about it. Beautiful island property just off the coast of Florida. It's basically America. If it's, it's like they will fly there so fast. The tourist destination they can turn Cuba into, just watch. They will move there. It'll be immediate. We're going to see investment into Cuba like crazy if this regime falls. That's just like, you like the way she said penetrator bombs. You dirty. You're a silly guy. Has Iran named John Thune supreme leader yet? Oh man, that wouldn't surprise me. Mr. McKimsky says, I talk fast. Sorry guys, I was excited tonight. Vince says Israel hacked in Iran security cameras all over the country. Been tracking the movement, all their leaders for the last year. Bodyguards hide out, and that's how they hit them. I know. For all the crap we give Israel, and much of it's deserved. Okay, listen, you're not going to find, I'm not an Israel shill, but I'm also not an Israel hater. The perfect place to be on Israel is in between. We can say they do terrible things and they should be called out for them. We can say the city of London has had their hand in Israel a lot, and all that's true. We could also say that Israel has been by far the best country in that region, and strategically working with them is usually to our advantage. So we can say all that, and it's true. And I don't think there's anything wrong necessarily with the Jewish people. So I'm not going to be that guy, but I also don't think we should worship them. I'm not there either. So as always on Israel, in between. And yes, what Israel does with its special forces is unbelievable. They are on a whole nother level. Okay, let's get into what's going on in our country right now politically. Okay, with MAGA, because we're being told, remember, the great psyop right now is that MAGA is falling apart. That Trump, by going into Iran, ruined MAGA. It's over. Okay, that's what we're being told. So, guys, I hate to tell you, but the truth is not so simple. And it's awful not trending in that direction. So, we just got tonight. Trump's endorsed candidate won House District 14 slot to replace Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's going to an April runoff against the Democrat, which he'll easily win. But there were two candidates on the Republican side. There was the Trump endorsed MAGA candidate, and there was the Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene candidate. This guy wiped the floor with the Thomas Massey candidate. It was like 45% to 10 or something like that, or 40% to 8, something like that. Is insane. I don't know what the final numbers were. They were trickling in, but it was a butt whooping. And it just shows like all this talk, all these people, oh, MAGA's falling apart. Oh, we got to fight back. MAGA's crumbling. It just goes to show like, nope, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you're being replaced. And we're very happy to replace you with somebody much, much better. So this guy is going to come in and all of a sudden we're not going to have a fake in there anymore. So he'll win in April. We'll seat the House. By the way, what Marjorie Taylor Greene did by quitting was so despicable, because it's not like we have a 20-seat majority in the House. Okay, we won 2020 or 220 seats to 215, five-seat majority. Well, since then, we've had somebody quit. We've had somebody die. It's dwindled down, and we were at 218 to 215 or 216. I think they might have won a special election. Anyways, it was a 2-seat majority. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene announces she's leaving, and she made it a 1-seat majority. Do you realize right now, if some Republican gets the sniffles and decides like, I don't want to be here anymore, and they quit, that all of a sudden the House is now tied? You understand like how crazy it is that Marjorie would quit on this? And for somebody saying they're America first to just quit and leave and not fulfill their term and not even say like, well, I disagree with what Trump's doing, but I'm going to fight from within. I'm going to fight for America first. No, just bail out, go get her spot on The View. It's disgusting. And if that alone, like, even if you agreed with everything she said, which I'd still think you're crazy, but if you agreed with everything she said, the fact she quit is the number one tell that she is a fake, a complete and utter fake. But anyways, we are fixing it. And I'll tell you right now, this guy wins. He gets in. He'll win again next year, and the seat will be safe for a few years. So it's great. It's great to see it. Okay, very interesting turn of events. Now, I did a video the other day. I talked about Cornyn and Paxton. I gave a whole breakdown on why. I didn't say he would endorse Cornyn, but I gave a breakdown on why it would make sense for him to endorse Cornyn if he chose to do so. I was just trying to explain Trump's thinking. Well, since then, there's been some very interesting developments. Number one is this. Trump administration is becoming increasingly concerned about growing rumors Cornyn used taxpayer funds to cover up a sexual relationship with a male staffer. Cornyn must authorize the release of settlement records. You know, they just made a big vote in Congress where they all voted not to disclose their names in sexual harassment suits. Pretty crazy, pretty disgusting. But Cornyn is one of those. And so they're hiding something, and the Trump administration apparently believes it's this. Now, I haven't confirmed this. Okay. This is coming from a source I generally trust. Haven't seen it in a secondary, so I'll just say that right now, that maybe it's not true, but I do trust the source. If this is true, Cornyn's done. All right. But he might have been done anyways. And let me explain. A poll came out the other day that shocked everybody. And the poll was that if Cornyn goes up against Paxton in May, that Paxton would win running away with it. And then they ran the poll that if Trump endorses Cornyn, what would that change? And it made the race closer, but Paxton was still winning. So Trump now knows that the people overwhelmingly want Paxton. See, he didn't know that from the primary because Wesley Hunt was in there and threw stuff off. And so Trump smartly withheld his endorsement. And this is again, how Trump is the smartest politician, political talent we've ever seen. I'm not saying he's the most refined. I think that's, well, on the evil side was Obama, and then on the good side is J.D. Vance. But Trump's the sharpest when it comes to instincts. He's got the best instincts. And so he smartly withheld his endorsement to see how it play out. Well, because if he'd endorsed Cornyn and then this came out and the polls came out, that would be devastating for Trump because he'd go against his own base. He didn't want to do that, but he has to win this seat. Okay, you can't risk losing Texas to the Democrats. It's been 40 years since any Democrat in Texas has been either governor or senator. You can't do it. That would be a shot across the bow. You cannot do that. It'd be so huge for the Democrats. So if you got to deal with the devil, sometimes you deal with the devil, right? When you're in politics. I don't mean that in real life. You never deal with the actual devil, but it's a saying, okay? Careful, all right? You know what I mean? You have to play game. In times of war, you have to play the game. And so it would have made sense if Paxton had no track to win that he endorses Cornyn. But now that's over. And so if this is proven to be untrue, then that still might happen. But at this point, the only way it's not going to be Paxton is if Paxton makes a deal and the Republicans somehow cut a deal to do the SAVE Act and Paxton drops out. That's it. So other than that, Paxton is going to be the senator in Texas because he's so much stronger. He's showing, because he ran a terrible campaign. He didn't raise any money and he lost a 17-point lead to Cornyn. So that was a big red flag. But now Paxton's showing strength again. And if he keeps this up and now he'll have the national Republicans behind him because it's a big race, he won't lose. And so Paxton is, I'd say, very likely to be the next senator from Texas, which is awesome. It'll be a huge win for MAGA. It really will. But it could be a loss in the fact that there are some people who thought that Trump might be putting him in the administration. So, I don't know. It's very complicated. But with this coming out about Cornyn, it's not looking good. By the way, I see there was a couple super chats, so I want to call them out real quick. Ray Sandoval with the $2 donation. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate you very much, sir. Thank you for the contribution and the support. And Trish with a $20 donation for Canada. Thank you, Trish. I greatly appreciate it. And especially coming from Canada. I know you guys are struggling up there right now, so every dollar matters. But no, for real, guys, thank you so much for the support. It means a lot to me. So, okay, let's keep going on. Now let's talk about Massey. Massey's in trouble. He's in big trouble. He ran this ad today. Now this is Massey trying to take out his opponent. Watch this ad.
I'm Thomas Massey, and I approve this message.
Woke Eddie Gowrine and liberal out-of-state special interest groups have run millions in ads trying to tell you how pro-Trump he is. But what they haven't told you is woke Eddie Gowrine abandoned President Trump's Republican Party, a complete dereliction of his MAGA duty. Woke Eddie left the Republican Party right after President Trump won the Republican nomination in May of 2016. Just check his voter registration. That's right, Trump becomes the party leader, the MAGA movement is taking off. Disgusted by what he sees, woke Eddie Gowrine turns his back on Trump and walks away. But it gets even worse. After Eddie Gowrine left Donald Trump's GOP for over 4 years, guess when he finally changed his registration back to the Republican Party? That's right, only after President Trump was no longer in office and Joe Biden had become president in 2021. Woke Eddie Gowrine. Not just a Trump hater.
All right, so Massey's swinging for the fences, okay? He's trying to paint Eddie Gowrine as a Democrat that hates Trump and is secretly lying. And here's what I want to say to that. I don't care. Now, let me be clear about this. Of course, I do care a little bit, but the point is first of all, we've seen a lot of Democrats change their mind and come to the Republican Party. RFK Jr., anybody? Tulsi Gabbard, anybody? So some of those Democrats are the best Democrats, or the best MAGA people now. But on top of that, Massey calling this guy out for being a Democrat in the past is, dude, he's basically a Democrat now. So, and I think the people are onto him. This ad, while it's interesting, it's boring, it's way too long. They should never have done a full minute. I'll tell you, as a marketer, 30 seconds tops. But anyways, moving on from this, Massey is freaking out. So Trump is putting the full court press on Massey right now. Here's Trump today. Credible people of Kentucky's 4th congressional district who want to get rid of Thomas Massey, worst Republican congressman we've had in many years, gave us a mandate to make America great again. Person will help us do the job and do it right is Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, 5th generation Kentucky farmer, American hero Ed Galrain. He's central casting. He filed for Congress today, but he's going all in. Okay. So the day Massey releases this ad on Galrain, Trump doubles down. Like, come on. Who's MAGA going to trust? We've seen what Massey's been doing. His support's slowly been going down. Now, what's funny is, as he's becoming more and more of a digital hero, as Blue Sky is lighting him up, all the liberals love him, all the libertarians who, are basically liberals at heart, are loving him. He's fading everywhere else. And we see it right here, even on the prediction markets. As of today, Thomas Massey and Ed Galrain are within 4 points of each other. And this is a race, a district that Massey has run going away for years. We're talking 80% wins. It was beloved. But what's hilarious in all this, and it's, again, Trump is the rock. He's the rock everybody who tries to destroy just breaks themselves upon. That's what he is. And it just keeps happening. It happened with the indictments. It happened in elections. It's happened with the mainstream media. And it happens with all these opponents. It happened with, what's his face? Oh, man. Well, there you go, guys. That's what a live show gets you. Sometimes your brain just farts on you. But anyways, it's happened several times. And now it's happening to Massey. He's gone full on against Trump with the Epstein files, just constantly calling out Trump, calling him out on Iran, all this stuff. And what's happening is he's actually losing his support. It's wonderful to see. And it shows you again, how much these people lie to us. And not just Massey. I mean, all the people who keep telling us that Trump is failing, his base hates him now, he's betrayed us, all this stuff. And yet, elections are always the great teller. Okay, now we can't fully trust elections because a lot of them are rigged, but they're the best indicator we have of what's real, because polls can be manipulated, psyops can throw us off, bots can make us think there's more people online who like somebody than not. But elections, there's always at least a clear winner. And sometimes it's rigged, don't get me wrong, but in an election like this, it won't be. This is Kentucky we're talking about. So this is how we know. This is the ultimate poll. And if Massey loses a seat, that's going to be awesome. It's going to be so awesome. I cannot wait. But so moving on from this, speaking of elections continually, John Solomon has some big stuff he's reporting on. So, Trump, I believe, he really wants the SAVE Act passed. We all do. I mean, it's the most popular bill that's probably ever gone through Congress that actually affects laws. It's not just like, celebrating somebody's life or something like that. It actually is impacting the law. We're talking 85% nationwide, 95%, 98%, somewhere in that range for Republicans. Even Democrats support it. It's wild. There's no reason for Congress not to pass it at all. But all the Democrats are dug in because it's the only way they can win elections. Well, Republicans are fighting it too. I believe Trump has an ace up his sleeve. And I think it's John Solomon. What he's talking about is it right here. I'm not going to play the clip. It's 4.5 minutes long. You guys can find it. I've reposted it on my X page. But it says the DOJ is building a massive case against the deep state. It's all coming. Well, what did we just see? We saw Fulton County, Georgia. They raided it. We saw Maricopa just subpoenaed. They turned over all their records. They're going through all the election stuff. And notice how quiet Tulsi Gabbard's been for about 7 months now. She's been very quiet. She showed her face at the Georgia raid, but other than that, Tulsi's been very quiet. I have a feeling this is what's coming. They've been building this case, and they have to do it perfectly. And thankfully, they have grand juries in Arizona and Florida working on this, so they're not stuck in D.C. And I think, guys, the justice we've been wanting, it's going to start here. I think this is going to be the first massive wave that comes out of indictments, arrests, and what I believe Trump's going to do is expose the elections in a way that's irrefutable. It's going to awaken so many people. It's actually going to open eyes, and it's going to force Congress to either pass the Save America Act, or it's going to open up the door so Trump can declare a national election national emergency over the election and have military stationed at polling sites to watch over it. Just watch. I think this is an extremely likely possibility. So prepare yourselves. It's going to get wild. See, what's happened is as Trump keeps progressing things, going further and further, well, they're digging their heels in more and more. Okay. They don't really have much to go on offense anymore. All they have are running out these psyops and stalling. That's really all they got. I mean, he's taking away their funding. He's killing their ability to operate overseas. He's purging the government of all the bad employees. You know that federal employment right now is the lowest since 1960. People are like, Doge didn't work. We didn't cut anything, bro. We've cut so much of the federal government, of employees working for the federal government. We are at levels not seen in 66 years. That's how much Trump's cut the government. I know it's not showing up as much in the money, but that's not Trump's fault. That's Congress's fault. He can't control that. But what he can do and what he is doing is purging. He's purging it. And they are losing so much power. It's driving them crazy. And Solomon's telling us that the case is being built. Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? Now, could we be set up for a big disappointment? Fine. Play that game. Let's black pill. Let's play the Whitney Webb game where it's all none of it matters. They're just building the technocracy. J.D. Vance is owned by Peter Thiel. Let's just play that stupid game and just never have hope for anything. But meanwhile, for those of us who are actually seeing with clear eyes and seeing all the wins going on, UK is struggling. EU is struggling. Deep State's falling apart. They are freaking out. And this is why all the MAGA influencers, which are now the FAGA influencers, this is why they're all freaking out on Trump and turning on him. Because all assets deployed time, guys. We don't have time to be sleeper cells anymore. It is all assets deployed. We have to destroy Trump. He's too close. He's too close. That's what we're seeing right now. They know it's coming. They see it. And if you really want to see clear-headed about what's going on, you look at what the enemy is doing. There's a reason why Republicans are trying to fight off the SAVE Act right now. Actually, in the Senate anyways. The House is mostly good. But Solomon is being very clear about this. Solomon reporting FBI grand jury subpoena is now sorting through election records in Arizona and irregularities in Georgia vote counting, finally moving exposed corrupt elections we've been screaming about. This is from the 2024 election. Oh, man. It's getting interesting. They didn't go all the way back to 2020, likely because those records have been destroyed. Arizona voters who clearly supported Trump in 2020 and 2024 have pushed a grand jury subpoena for answers on obvious election crimes. FBI agents claiming they found irregularities as to how they were counting votes in Georgia. 70 to 80% of Americans want voter ID. They want secure. I'm telling you guys, this is what's coming there. This is what they're going to pull off. And then it's heating up. I mean, the fight for our elections is heating up. And Trump is, for everybody freaking out about the midterms, I'll tell you, Trump is going to do everything possible. And again, they are closing the walls in. And what I mean by that is not that we're losing. It's that they are getting to the point where they are cutting off all of Trump's ability to do this in a way that's streamlined and within the normal processes of our government, which is get the Senate to pass stuff, sign it, get the judges to sign off. We're getting to the point where they're no longer allowing Trump to do that. They are closing off those things. Those guys all playing ball before, they're starting to have to be like, we can't anymore because he's about to completely win, which means the military is the only way. And if we get to that point, that's where Trump will emergency declaration over the elections, and the military will oversee them. And I think that's a very, very real possibility. If they don't pass the SAVE Act, in fact, I'd say it's probably the most likely possibility in order to make sure the election is, they're pushing Trump to it. You see how Trump is trying everything else first? And this is what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people have gotten frustrated with, especially those who've been waiting for this a long time. Where's the arrest, bro? What does that mean? That's funny. Where's the arrest, bro? Where's the, what is the military not already doing it? Where's the Insurrection Act? Why? Trump is patient, unlike us. Trump sees what's really going on. He's got all the information, unlike us. He is trying to get every single person he possibly can on his side by doing everything the process way so they can see how frustrated he is. They can see how everybody's just total frauds. He is exposing as much as he possibly can before he pulls the trigger on crazier stuff. Because we can't win without the support of the people. We can't hold the wins without the support of the people. It has to happen. So that's what he's working on. And so this election battle, though, is ramping up. And this tells me that, along with what's going on in Iran, they're watching right now. They're watching their people, the people controlling them that funded their money, the deep state, all that apparatus that's coming from City of London and others over there, the cabal over in Europe. They're seeing all of it crumble because of Iran. They're seeing that our military, Trump has built a force of nature that's unlike anything they believe possible with the military. It's terrifying them. They realize they don't have any choices anymore. Now they're going to fight every opportunity. These people are entrenched and they're sick. They're not going to give up easy, but they're getting more and more desperate. And so the psyops just keep increasing. And what Trump's doing right now, while he's also doing the war in Iran, is he's going to war over elections, and he's brought in Elon. Elon Musk just called out John Thune today. Does John Thune realize how bad he's effing up? Not yet. Elon is on this. Bernie Moreno confirmed there are 3 to 4 Republican senator holdouts who refuse to pass the SAVE Act through a talking filibuster. And Thune apparently is trying to get them to change, and they won't. Moreno, who's great, he's the new senator from Ohio, said Thune didn't hire, he can't fire these people. Unfortunately, just going to be blunt, 3 or 4 Republicans who won't be part of the team, they row in their own direction. We had a spirited conversation. I think we're getting closer. All we got to do is turn one of them. But I'm telling you who it is. I know who it is. It's McConnell, because he's not running again. And that guy is old snake. It's Murkowski, who also isn't going to run again. It's Tillis, who hates Trump because Trump cost him his seat, Senate. He's no longer even running for re-election. He's just given up because Trump has so ruined his career and was going to primary him anyways, and he was going to lose. And it's likely Collins, who is basically running as a Republican in a Democrat state. She is stuck, or she feels stuck. She doesn't like to play ball very much. See, Collins, Murkowski, and McConnell are the biggest snakes in Congress. Now, there's a lot of snakes in Congress. They're the biggest ones. Tillis is up there as well. I can almost guarantee you those are the 4. If maybe Collins is in a tough election and she needs all the Republican support, so you can maybe switch out Collins for somebody else. But that's who we're looking at. Now, I hope he names them, but I'll tell you, other than Collins, who's in an election, those people aren't scared. The other 3 aren't coming back. So they're going to hold out on this as long as they can. See, Thune's not a great leader, and he doesn't want this passed. But I'll tell you, I think Trump has leverage on Thune. I do. Because Trump does get Thune to do a lot of the stuff he wants to do. Not everything, but a lot. So this is ramping up. And again, if it doesn't pass, something really interesting is going to happen. But why is all this going on in the Republican Party? And it's because of this. This is a great post. They can't fix the Democratic Party. They're spending that money to break MAGA instead. Shepherding fair weather influencers with bot engagement or even direct funding. If your favorite podcast is mute on this self-evident reality, now would be the time to ponder why. And the Democrats are in total disarray. Candidates are terrible. Influencers are extremists. Only thing they can do is try and fracture and demoralize the right. And that's what's happening right now. That's what's happening. So, and I'm going to show you guys some of what the grifters are doing here in just a second. But before I move on, let's take a second. I want to catch up with the chat for a minute. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the show, if you're learning anything, if you're energized, if you're optimistic, if you love President Trump and you just believe in it, hit that like, please. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I appreciate the support of the channel. We've got 200 some odd people watching today, 300 across all the platforms. I appreciate you guys watching. And if you really like it, consider being a member. Get a free month of my Patreon in the description below. Give it a shot. What do you have to lose? Let's see here. Lockfeld says Trump needs to schedule a rally in Northern Kentucky. Yeah, to get Massey, 100%. And I think he will. Actually, I think he was on his way there. Let me go back to that post of Trump. Yeah, he's visiting. I don't know if it's a rally yet, but he is visiting there. So I have imagined there'd probably be a rally attached to it of some sort. That seems like what Trump would do. Trish, that's very nice of you to say. Thank you so much. Michael Anthony says, all these people wanting Trump to take orders should leave him alone, let him do a great job, make us a better nation. Well, he is. And that's the thing. Like, he's doing everything he can. You guys notice that, like, almost everything Trump's done that or hasn't gotten done, it's basically because of Congress. It's either because of Congress or because of staffing that's just not there yet, or the courts, I should say. So there's three things. It's Congress first, courts second, staffing third. And listen, they're trying to make his life hell. And think about that. No other president in history has had to deal with their own party dragging their feet this way when they're in control, the courts stopping, going out of their way, breaking tradition, breaking the law to stop him at every opportunity, and fighting the deep state from within the entire time. No other president, and still he's gotten done more than any other president in the first 13 months of a term. Unbelievable. The man is just a different beast. Massey's arrogance didn't really hurt him. Fetterman supports Save America Act. You're right, 100%. But he doesn't. He supports the Save America Act, but there's an important distinction. He doesn't support changing the filibuster, and so we can't get his vote on this where we need it to get the Save America Act passed. Cassing says, under the Constitution, protect American votes. Trump won't need Thune. Well, yeah, but it's not that simple, unfortunately, because without this passing, the states, because of habits built up over the years, they are going to be able to run the election still the way they want without much interference. Because that's always been what Congress and the Supreme Court has done. It's deferred to the states on how they run their elections. And it hasn't, it's like, yeah, you got to be a citizen, but it's never said you have to prove it a certain way. So Trump doesn't have a way to enforce that constitutionally based upon what the courts have already said, which sucks. So I would agree with you, but it's just more complicated than that. Unfortunately, that's how most things are. And it's complicated on purpose. See, the Constitution was simple, but over 250 years, the courts, the politicians, the lawyers, they have complicated the Constitution and found every loophole possible. So that's what we're living in now. We're living in the time where every possible loophole to the Constitution that can be had is done. And it's unwinding that is very difficult to do. Let's see. Mark Elias suing Trump with the midterms. If Trump does, I know Mark Elias he's been failing a lot lately though. Moreno is a businessman, not establishment. Moreno's awesome. You know, it's taken the House is basically mostly MAGA now. And it's because the House is replaced every 2 years. So if you haven't been MAGA in the House, well, you've now had 1, 2, 3, 4 elections with Trump. So it's hard to not be MAGA in the House because you've been voted on 4 times. That's plenty of time to be primaried, replaced. The Senate's a different animal because the Senate's only every 6 years. So every senator who's been with Trump during this term has only had one election. And that means they've only had to fight one time. Well, if that time was 2018, then, Trump wasn't as strong back then. MAGA wasn't as big. If it was 2020, well, that was the most fraudulent election ever. You probably held your seat, and so the Senate's been much harder to weed out. Thank you, Mark R. Appreciate you. Roger says Trump should get that male staffer victimized by Thune and have his stand behind Trump during a presser. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, I don't really trust Vivek either, but he's better than a Democrat. So there's always that. We just got to remember that. We need him to win Ohio. Unless there's another guy that will primary him and win, but I don't think there is. Thune today announced he bring the SAVE Act to the Senate next week. Yeah, they're going to vote on it, and it's going to be defeated. And when it's defeated, he's going to say, I tried, and then he's going to try to leave it alone. But Trump is not going to let it lie. So what Trump will do is he'll do one of two things. He'll either be like, he'll either double down and use what Solomon's talking about to enforce passing it even harder, or Trump will switch gears and he'll go to exposing all the election stuff and using it for national emergency. But I have a feeling Trump is going to go all out to win the midterms. If he doesn't, it doesn't mean stuff's not going to happen. If Trump lets the Democrats win the midterms, it's because he knows he's going to be okay. He knows that things are progressed enough where ultimately it won't matter. It'll just slow things down. Not that it won't matter at all, but that it's not going to stop. We've already progressed so far down the winning track. And with him still as president, with the team he's built around him, they'll be fine. That's what happens if Trump allows them to win the midterms. I'm telling you guys, Trump knows. Like, I make a lot of estimates. I make a lot of guesses. They're almost always right. And it's because I trust Trump and I understand him. The midterms, I will tell you right now, midterms are kind of a mystery because right now everybody's talking about the midterms are the most important thing that's ever happened. And I understand that. Even Trump said some things like that. But I'll tell you that Trump also, he does stuff sometimes we don't understand in the moment. And it's like when 2020, when we lost, it was like, what just happened? It's like, we know we didn't lose that. What happened? Well, Trump needed the extra 4 years to rebuild the team, to come back stronger, to let them dig a deeper hole. He knew America wasn't ready. So he didn't go all out to stop it. Well, this time the midterms, he'll still be president. And 2028, based on demographics, based on 2028, well, it matters a lot more than the midterms. Because in 2028, you write a presidential election where Rubio or Vance will be very popular candidates. And probably Vance, but Rubio is gaining a little momentum. I still think it'll be Vance by like 80%, but I'm allowing for the fact it could be Rubio. Either one of them be extremely popular and will probably win in a landslide. Well, that will also pull up a lot of other candidates. Plus, we'll have 2 more years where Trump, if he's going to pull a military intervention, that would make sense to do it on that one too. So my point in all of this is don't let the midterms be the end all be all. And don't do what a lot of people did with Minnesota where it was like, oh, he didn't pull the Insurrection Act. He's not really doing it. Come on, guys. Like, Trump knows what he's doing. And we just got to trust the man. He's gotten us this far. Okay, let's do a little grifter exposure. This has just become a segment of the show because there's so much of it. Not doing anything too deep today, but just wanted to show you guys a couple of things going on. This is a great post. Brendan Dilley says, the reason so many podcasters, panicans, influencers continue to make horrible decisions, their fading relevance has them freaking out. I also think they're being deployed, but MAGA's mainstream and President Trump no longer requires them to carry his message. These losers can't grift off of Mother more. That is absolutely true. The grift is over. Tokran with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Toe. Says, best, most accurate, informative, and intelligent show out there. Spread the word. Thank you, Toe. That means a lot to me, man. I appreciate it. Means a lot to me. And listen, you guys watching means a lot to me. You watch. I'm here by myself. I occasionally have a guest. I haven't had many this year, but occasionally, but most of the time it's just me. And the fact you guys sit and listen to me talk like this, it means a lot. It really does. So thank you. I hope I'm doing a good job for you guys, and I will continue to try to get better and better and better all the time. So thank you guys. And thank you, Toe, for the shout out. Please like and subscribe if you agree with Mr. Toe Cramp. Thank you so much. Trump did something really interesting today. He appointed Erica Kirk to serve on the U.S. Air Force Academy Board of Visitors. Now, a couple things. Number one, had a lot of people being like, what is Trump doing? He's appointing Erica Kirk to the Air Force. Blah, blah, blah. What does she have to do with the Air Force? Dude, this is about tourism. It's about visitors. Okay? And by the way, this was a position her husband was going to hold anyways, from what I've heard. So he's just replacing it. So that's number one. Not a big deal. Nobody should be making a big deal of this. Number two, and actually, in my opinion, more importantly, this is Trump staring at Candace Owens and saying, you are full of crap. And I'm going to show the world that I trust Erica. Now, I love it because we all know Candace is full of it. And listen, if Erica is a grifter, if there's even a hint of truth to what Candace is saying, which, listen, she's been so disproven on so much now. How can anybody trust anything she says? But even if 5% of what she's saying is true about Erica, Trump's also showing us it doesn't matter. What matters more is that TPUSA is strong, because that is a movement that gets people voting. That's a movement that's built around MAGA and not traditional Republicans and conservatives. And Trump's saying, like, we're keeping this alive. And honestly, that matters so much more to me than Candace's lies, which get just debunked over and over and over again. So yeah, no Candace Owens appointment. That's right. Love it. Okay. Look at this today. This is interesting. So Megyn Kelly reposting, there's this post going around from Charlie Kirk that it's going unnoticed. It's basically Charlie Kirk's anti-war post, which, by the way, I've shown you guys Charlie talking about trusting Trump even in wartime, even when he doesn't like it. Charlie, he didn't love war. He didn't want war, but he also was not so anti-war. He was dumping on Trump. He was again, I told you guys, there's so many people that are like, oh, the great loss of Charlie Kirk is that he was holding the Trump administration in check. That is such a lie. The great loss of Charlie Kirk is that he was holding all the retarded, panicking influencer grifters away. He was keeping them in check because everybody trusted Charlie the most. So if Steve Bannon or Alex Jones or Megyn Kelly or Tucker Carlson or Ian Carroll or Candace Owens said anything, Nick Fuentes, if any of them said anything that was a lie about Trump and the Trump administration, Charlie would smack it down, and everybody knew if Charlie said it, he was the one to listen to. So none of them crossed him, except for like Nick Fuentes and stuff, but he's always off in his own world anyways. But you know what I mean? Charlie was the true MAGA. He was the icon of MAGA that wasn't in politics. He was the outsider leader. And they took him out. And one of the reasons they took him out is because they knew he was the most trusted. They knew that once Charlie was gone, the psyops would be so much easier to spread. And what's it been since Charlie's been gone? Psyop after psyop after psyop after psyop. Whether it was the way they handled Epstein, the way they've gone after TPUSA to tear it down, they've allowed Candace to do that, the way they've gone after Trump, the way they framed the military interventions. You name it, it's been the largest psyops I've ever seen, not counting COVID, but when you're just talking internet only, not coming down from our politicians and actually changing our lives. You're just talking pure information swirling around online, betraying their own viewers. The psyops going on since Charlie died have been the biggest I've ever seen. And they just keep coming. And every week, every month, we are finding a new MAGA influencer who's fake, over and over and over again. Bannon, almost 2,000 emails to Epstein, which is more than Bill Gates and Reid Hoffman. Tucker, who's just gone all in against Trump, putting up all these grifters. He's hosted Nick Fuentes. He's hosted Ian Carroll, Douglas McGregor now, Hagar Getty, all these people who hate Trump and are trying to psyop him down. Lies. Tucker's giving them 2-hour interviews, letting them spout whatever they want, doesn't challenge them. Crazy stuff. So today, amidst all this, we have Hassan Abi, who is evil leftist influencer. Sneeko, horrible, same stuff. They're sharing this Charlie Kirk post, and who else shares it? Same day, same bat time, same bat channel. Freaking Megyn Kelly. I mean, are they just all getting their orders from the same place? It is crazy. And then there's Tucker just getting stupider and stupider in his takes. Now, Tucker Carlson is not a stupid man. He's a brilliant man. It's one of the reasons why he's played the game so well for so long. I loved Tucker. I'm honest about it. Tucker, from the time the Biden administration came in till 2 weeks ago, was fantastic. From the time of the Biden administration through the election, Tucker batted almost 1,000. He was awesome for MAGA, awesome for exposing stuff on the left. He got close to Trump, spoke at the RNC, at the election party, was all in, and they trusted him too. He has White House access. And then he just slowly, we were seeing the cracks. And I was like, dude, Tucker, why are you doing this? But you know what? I was always like, I'll trust Tucker because Trump trusts Tucker. At least it seems that way. I did. Like, Tucker got me. I'm not easy to get. I see these grifters way ahead of time. And anybody who's been watching the show for a while will know I've told you guys many times, like, I'm not ready to call out Tucker. I didn't want to. I was emotionally attached, even though I was seeing signs. Well, now it's obvious. And ever since the Iran thing, he's gotten worse and worse. Listen to this clip. This is just like mind-blowing to me.
But if it ever emerges that our diplomatic efforts with Iran, both in February of this year and in June of last year, were fake, and they were designed to lull the Iranians into a false sense of security so we could launch a sneak attack on them, how is that better than Pearl Harbor? How is that better than any dishonorable sneak attack in history? Of course, it's not. It's low. It's beneath the United States. It's beneath us as American citizens. And anyone who participated in that needs to be punished for it right away.
This is the same man who just a couple days ago said that unconditional surrender that Trump's asking for from Iran is basically telling them that, oh yeah, just turn your women over so we can rape them. He's talking about America, American citizens. And now he's saying that he's insinuating, he's very smart how he does it, because that sounded very educated. But if you actually listen to what he's saying, he's trying to plant seeds of doubt about the Trump administration, what they did, saying that we are sneaky, wrong. Because why else even say it? There's no point. It's a psyop. And he's trying to plant the seeds of doubt that the Trump administration just lied to us and has used false pretenses to get us into this fight. Despite the fact that Iran's one of the worst countries in world history, most oppressive regimes ever. Despite the fact he's just Like, they have been awful in every single way. They oppress their children. They allow child marriage. They allow you to rape women. They allow 9-year-olds to be married. This administration is perverted. It's oppressive. It's disgusting. And Tucker is trying to plant seeds of doubt about us. I'm sorry. He's, as far as I'm concerned, he's a full-on enemy asset at this point. And that sucks for me to say, because I loved Tucker, man. I had 5 good years with Tucker. I was like, man, I loved his show. He always had interesting stuff on. His stuff, I 95% of agreed with him. And I thought he was doing a lot of good. But I tell you, the best ones, that's exactly what they're supposed to do. And that's why he's so smart. Bannon's the other one. They are, to me, the 2 smartest. And that's why they hid the longest. But now that we see it, you can't unsee it. And some of it's outright. Bannon's been much more subdued. He lets his people do it for him. Bannon himself is too smart to go out against Trump. But even Alex Jones is a joke at this point. He just changes his mind every day. You can see that guy's just trying to keep his pockets full. Tucker, I think it's more sinister with Tucker the way it's coming out. Because I don't think Tucker is gaining much an audience by saying this stuff. I really don't, unless he's gaining Democrats. But it's crazy. Johnny says, I've lost so much respect for Tucker, Rand Paul, and others since Trump's second term. Absolutely. I agree with you. Tyrus talking about Solomon. I guess I'm missing your guys' conference. I'm not going to get into it. Brian Cates is great. I agree with you on that. Bannon's a fink. I agree. Yeah. Sorry, Tucker. Whenever I was in a fight, I threw the first punch. That's because well, according to Tucker, you should be punished for that. False pretenses, baby. Christina Abbott with the $7 donation from Canada. Thank you so much, Christina. Your support is well recorded and noted, and thank you so much. You've been one of the great ones. I appreciate it. All right, guys, please hit that like, subscribe. I got a couple other things I want to share with you before we go tonight. Let's end with some wins. You guys ready? Let's talk about some wins. Well, actually, we're going to talk about a win in a second, but oh yeah, Navy Intel, always Navy Intel, says Lisa. Absolutely, Lisa. You're 100% right, which also is Jack Posobiec. Jack Posobiec and Steve Bannon, both Navy Intel. Very interesting, right? Have you guys noticed, not only Bannon in the Epstein files, that was bad enough, but everywhere Bannon went, he went to Breitbart, killed Breitbart. Breitbart, the magazine, just wasn't the same once Bannon took over. Got into the Trump administration. He's got his grifts from before, really weird stuff. And then the Epstein stuff, it just, man. War room, man. It's, can't look at it the same anymore. Okay. Before we get to the wins, I did want to show you guys this. I think this is actually very important. All right. So, Pam Bondi has been relocated to a military base where other Trump administration officials also live, which is Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, Stephen Miller. I know those 3 for sure. After facing threats from drug cartels and critics of her actions in handling Epstein, according to the New York Times. Listen, this, my friends, is not why she's going to freaking military base. Are you kidding me? No, that's not. Nobody's taking her out because of the way she handled the Epstein files. That is stupid. You can't get to somebody like Pam Bondi if you're regular Joe Schmo mad about the Epstein files. That doesn't happen. No, I believe the cartels part because they're taking down the cartels. But what I want you to think about is this. The people getting the loudest criticism in the Trump administration, have been Hegseth, Bondi, Kash Patel, Stephen Miller, Kristi Noem. Noem's gone, moved on to something else. Now, I think that is partially her own fault. She obviously made some mistakes in Minnesota, but Trump trusts her. She did a good job, so she's getting another job. Basically, she's going to be in charge of getting rid of the cartels. That's huge. But think about the other ones. In charge of the military, in charge of the immigration policy, in charge of national intelligence, in charge of the Justice Department, and that's Bondi and Patel. All of that, guys, is the most important things that Trump can control unilaterally without Congress. Military, Justice Department, and intelligence. Because of that, those are the people most dangerous to City of London, the deep state, the cabal. And if Pam Bondi was what a lot of people believe she is, she's either a plant or she sucks, she's ineffective. If that were true, they would want Pam Bondi to stay in, and she wouldn't be facing life-threatening threats. I just doubled down to myself. Threats. But she wouldn't be facing threats that were legitimate. They wouldn't be putting her on a military base. So again, whenever you're mad at Bondi because we're going to see an arrest for Epstein, please do the work. Look behind the scenes and wonder why is Bondi actually screwing up? Okay. Maybe she's not screwing up. Maybe she's actually doing a really good job behind the scenes. Think of all the arrests that have been done. Think of all the sleeper cells. We haven't seen barely anything go off. That's all on her watch. Think of all the Supreme Court cases they've won after 20 straight. There are a lot of wins from this Trump Justice Department, despite the fact they can't get anything done in D.C. courts. By the way, they're exposing that right now, how the courts are all rigged in D.C., more so than we even thought. That's starting to get exposed. She can't get anything done there. She had to fire half her staff because they were all plants, and it takes a long time to rehire because you got to find people who you can trust in this administration who will work at the DOJ. It takes time. So I will always say I'm holding out on Bondi until the end of the term because there is way too much going on for us to be critical of her this far. I'm sorry, there just is. And I'd love to hear from any Bondi critics why if she sucks so bad, why she's under so much threat, she has to be moved to a military institute. This isn't her coming out making a big deal about it. This isn't her announcing it, trying to gain attention. No, this is behind the scenes they're doing this, and it just got reported. So ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. Okay, let's move on to this. This was hilarious today. Trump threw this out today, working with Governor Whitmer on trying to save the Great Lakes from violent, destructive Asian carp rapidly taking over Lake Michigan, all the beautiful surrounds. I'll be asking other governors to join this fight: Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Ohio. And of course, this is great. The future governor of Canada, Mark Carney. How funny is that? My friends, that's hilarious. Oh man, Trump will just not let this go. I love it. It cracks me up. Makes me so happy. So that I just got to put that up there as a win. Now, this is actually a huge win. So Trump announced today, America's returning to real energy dominance. By the way, you guys know one of the reasons why we haven't had the major energy effects from these wars is because we're energy independent again, baby. Trump did it. He did the impossible, and which is just incredible. But he's proud to announce America First Refining is opening the first new U.S. oil refinery in 50 years in Brownsville, Texas. Historic $300 billion deal, biggest in U.S. history. Massive win for American workers, energy, great people of South Texas. Thank you to our partners in India, the largest privately held energy company, Reliance, for tremendous investment. $300 billion, guys. Streamlining permits, lowering taxes, billions of dollars to our nation. A new refinery. This is the first refinery in 50 years, guys. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. So this is a big deal. So just a huge win. I would not be surprised, guys, that by the time Trump leaves, I think by the time Trump leaves office in 2029, January 20th, 2029. I have a feeling we're going to have gas prices like right around $2 or under. That's what I think Trump's going to pull that off. So just incredible win. Venezuela oil output is already over 1 million barrels a day. Experts said it was impossible, but it's a flowing, guys. It's a flowing. Everything Trump said is happening. True inflation at 1% year over year. This is from Trueflation, which takes millions of data points, is more accurate than CPI. Despite the latest cooling waves across housing, household utilities, goods, and food, we see inflationary trends reemerging, driven by geopolitical and energy uncertainty. So anyways, gas prices pushed inflation up, and it's still just over 1%. What a freaking win. What a freaking win. And this is a big one. So more Republicans than ever are identifying as MAGA, and the highest percent of Americans are identifying as MAGA. This is amazing. So we were told, we were lied to, that we're dying, that Trump is killing the party. Rich Barris, Robert Barnes, out there telling us that MAGA's dying. Trump's killing it. Iran's killing it. And yet, more people are MAGA now than ever before. 25%. 1 out of every 4 people in America are MAGA. Do you know how huge that is? Do you also know how undercounted that is? I guarantee you it's closer to 40%. Guarantee it. But polls aren't that accurate. Stuff like this kind of hard to get. The point is the trend is going up. Republicans, 63%. We own the Republican Party. 63%, there's no going back. They have no hope. Independents, who are actually just Democrats, but light, 12%. Democrats, 3%. That's hilarious, 3% Democrats. Just come back over, guys. Just leave the Democratic Party. I want to see a 0 on Democrats. I want all MAGA on the Republican side. 31% white, 8% black is actually huge. 8% of black people consider to be MAGA. Guys, just a couple elections ago, they couldn't get 8% of black people to vote Republican, let alone identify as MAGA. That is wild. So much for the racist party. 16% of Hispanics. Harris voters, 3% consider themselves MAGA. That means 3% of Harris voters have woken up. That's a big number. It's actually a really big number. Trump voters, 57%. That's hilariously low. That's obviously not even close. But anyways, just wild. And look how this kind of surprised me how that's pretty evenly across the spectrum. So just incredible stuff. MAGA's not dying. MAGA's growing. And that might be the biggest win of all. And it tells you the people are waking up. The people are waking up. All right. Before I leave tonight, guys, let me check back in on the chat. MAGA stronger than ever, says Ray Sandoval. Absolutely. Jay's talking about cars. All right. Seth says, I noticed the Canadians I watched that were decent now are all getting the same wrong news about Iran all of a sudden. That's how it happens. Yeah. Jay Tyler says, Dave at X22, which I love Dave, believes gas prices will be under $1. Oh, I don't know about that. That's crazy talk. With inflation and everything, $1, I don't know if that's possible. And I don't know if they can make money off that, but that'd be awesome. I would be much more likely to say probably $1.75, $1.50 at the lowest. But hey, I'd love to see if Dave's right. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. I remember the last time I paid under $1 for gas was 2002. I was in Texas. I was going home from my first year of college, and I paid 84 cents a gallon in San Antonio, Texas. It was awesome. It was awesome. Roger says, Bonnie should not bring Epstein case still to get a favorable venue. 100% correct. Ding, 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 you win. That is very true. Cobra logo. Pam says, both my adult sons are married, have sons ages 38, 31. They play Halo. What? I came in on the wrong part of that conversation. Anyways. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Let's end in a prayer, because prayer is how we got here. Listen, believe it or not, with all I talk about, the reason we're here is God. It's Jesus. He answered our prayers. He gave us Trump, who is not who we expected, but who is better than we could have asked for. He's killing it, doing it all. And listen, we don't put our trust in Trump. We put it in God. And then God tells us we can trust Trump. That's how I feel about it. And I believe prayer will continue to be the reason we keep winning as long as we don't stop. And we stay on top of it. We do our part, and we do it with faith and hope and expectancy. No black pill in here, because we are winning, and we're winning bigly. So let's take a second to end in a prayer. If you enjoyed the show tonight, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you so much. Share with your friends, and let them know there's some guy out here who just talks, but he might be good at it. And I don't know who that guy is, but anyways. All right. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Bless these beautiful people, Lord. Thank you for their support. Thank you, God, for so many good people out there fighting the good fight and wanting to see America thrive and better than ever. And Lord, God, we pray protection over President Trump and his team. All those that have to live on military bases, Lord, Bondi, Gabbard, Hegseth, Miller, and anyone else we don't know of. Bless them, protect them and their families, God. And I especially pray if any of them have kids, their kids are protected from feeling the stress of the fight their parents are in. So we thank you for people willing to sacrifice themselves and their own safety and comfort to make our country great again. Father, bless them, protect them in Jesus' name. Give them wisdom and boldness to see through this fight and outsmart the enemy at every turn. And we thank you we're winning. We pray, God, that you finish everything you started. We pray for justice, peace, and prosperity come back to America like never before. And we pray this all in Jesus' name. Bless everybody here. Amen. All right, guys. Love you. Appreciate you. Like and subscribe on your way out. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you all tomorrow night. God bless.
Headlines screaming like a siren at night.